Every night across the world, something strange happens. Millions of people from different countries, different time zones, and different lives all wake up around the same time. 3 a.m. It's quiet. The air feels different. The world outside seems frozen, and inside your heart beats a little faster than usual. You glance at your phone. The glowing numbers read 3 a.m. You don't know why you're awake. You just are. For centuries, this hour has carried an air of mystery. In ancient times, people believed that 3 a.m. was when the veil between the physical and the spiritual world grew thin. But modern science tells another story, one that begins deep inside the human body. Every human runs on an invisible clock. It's called the circadian rhythm, a 24-hour system that decides when you feel awake, tired, hungry, or alert. It's the body's natural timekeeper, powered by a tiny region in the brain known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. This small cluster of cells is your master clock, guiding your internal schedule even when you're not aware of it. But this clock doesn't always run smoothly. At night, your body cycles through different stages of sleep: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, the stage where dreams unfold. Around 3 a.m., most people are moving between deep sleep and lighter sleep. It's a fragile window. One small disturbance, like a noise outside, a change in temperature, or a shift in hormones, can wake you up. And that's just the surface. Deep inside, another force is at play: cortisol, the body's natural stress hormone. Cortisol begins to rise around 2 or 3 a.m., preparing you to wake up a few hours later. It's part of your body's early morning readiness routine. But when stress levels are high, from work, anxiety, or emotional tension, cortisol can spike earlier and stronger than usual. That surge of alertness may be what jolts you awake in the middle of the night. In a 2019 study by the University of California, researchers found that people who reported waking up frequently around 3 a.m. also had elevated nighttime cortisol levels and disrupted REM patterns. In simple terms, their bodies were preparing for danger that didn't exist. The modern world has made this worse. Blue light from screens, late-night caffeine, overthinking before bed, they all confuse your circadian rhythm. Your brain, unsure of what time it really is, misfires its signals. The result? You wake up at 3 a.m. heart racing as if something's wrong. But nothing is wrong. You're just witnessing your body's ancient survival system trying to adapt to a modern, restless world. Still, one question remains. If it's just biology, why does it feel different at 3 a.m.? Why does the silence feel heavier, the air colder, and your thoughts louder than ever before? The answer lies not in the body, but in the mind. It's 3:07 a.m. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room is dark, silent, except for the faint hum of the air conditioner or the ticking of a clock. You're not in danger. You're not in pain. Yet your mind feels unsettled. This is the second layer of the mystery, the psychology of the 3 a.m. awakening. When you wake up at this hour, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, logical part of your brain, is still half asleep. It's the part that solves problems, makes decisions, and reasons with you during the day. But when you wake in the middle of the night, that system is offline. Meanwhile, another region, the amygdala, is wide awake. The amygdala is the brain's emotional alarm center. It's responsible for fear, stress, and survival instincts. During the night, when external distractions are gone, the amygdala becomes more active, and the quiet darkness magnifies your thoughts. This is why something that feels manageable at noon can feel like the end of the world at 3 a.m. Your brain is also running a kind of night audit. Just like a computer clears memory or a store balances its books after closing, the brain uses the night to process emotions, experiences, and unresolved worries. That's part of REM sleep, where dreams occur, the brain's emotional therapy session. But if you wake up during that delicate process, your thoughts can become raw, unfiltered, and emotional. Here's an interesting fact. Researchers from the University of Oxford discovered that people who wake up between 2 and 4 a.m. show higher levels of rumination, repetitive negative thinking. The reason? The brain's serotonin and dopamine levels dip during this time, while noradrenaline, a stress-related chemical, stays active. It creates the perfect storm for anxiety. At 3 a.m. your mind isn't trying to torture you, it's trying to protect you. It's replaying unfinished worries from your day, asking, did I forget something important? Did I say the wrong thing? What if tomorrow goes wrong? It's scanning for threats that don't exist, because your body's ancient alarm system hasn't learned that you're safe in bed. Psychologists call this the nighttime amplification effect. In silence and darkness, every thought grows louder. Every worry echoes. Even the smallest problem can seem impossible to solve. And yet, This is also when creativity peaks for some. Artists, writers, and scientists throughout history have described moments of clarity around 3 a.m. That's because your default mode network, the brain's daydreaming system, becomes more active when your rational mind steps back. It's when imagination and emotion dance freely, without the limits of logic. So at 3 a.m. your mind can be both your greatest enemy and your most powerful ally. But the story doesn't end with the mind. There's another player in this nightly pattern. One that controls every heartbeat, every breath, and every drop of melatonin in your blood. To truly understand why you wake up at 3 a.m. we have to go deeper. Into the body's hidden rhythms, the hormones that shape your sleep, and the ancient survival code written into your DNA. Inside every human being is a silent orchestra, billions of cells moving to the same internal rhythm. Each one knows when to rest, when to repair, and when to wake. And every night, this orchestra performs a precise, invisible symphony called sleep. By the time the clock strikes 3 a.m., your body is in one of its most delicate transitions, shifting from deep, restorative sleep into the lighter phases that prepare you for morning. In this fragile window, the slightest imbalance can break the harmony. It all begins with a hormone called melatonin. Often called the sleep hormone, melatonin rises when darkness falls, signaling to your body that it's time to rest. Around midnight, melatonin reaches its peak. But by 3 a.m., its levels begin to decline. This gradual drop is normal, it's how your body prepares to wake up. Yet if that decline happens too fast, you might find yourself wide awake too early. Melatonin's opposite is cortisol, the hormone that keeps you alert. While melatonin tells you it's night, cortisol whispers that morning is near. Around 2 to 3 a.m., your adrenal glands begin releasing small bursts of cortisol to gently warm up your metabolism for the day ahead. It's a perfectly timed system, unless stress interferes. When you're under pressure, deadlines, emotional tension, constant screen exposure, cortisol doesn't wait until sunrise. It surges early. And that early surge can jolt your brain awake long before dawn, flooding your body with alertness you didn't ask for. Then there's body temperature, another silent conductor of sleep. During deep sleep, your core temperature drops, allowing your body to conserve energy. Around 3 a.m., it hits its lowest point. This drop is essential, but it also makes you more sensitive to changes in your environment. A slight chill from the air conditioner, a shift in bedding, or even a noise from the street can be enough to break your sleep. Add to that the effects of blood sugar. When you eat heavy or sugary meals before bed, your blood sugar spikes and then crashes in the early morning hours. That crash can signal your brain that something's wrong, triggering hunger hormones like ghrelin and stress responses that pull you out of sleep. According to a 2021 Harvard study, people who experience consistent 3 a.m. awakenings often show a mismatch between melatonin and cortisol patterns. One fading too soon, the other rising too early. The body, in essence, becomes confused about what time it really is. And modern life makes this confusion worse. The blue light from phones and laptops suppresses melatonin production, delaying your internal night. Caffeine, even consumed 6 hours before bedtime, can linger in your bloodstream, keeping your nervous system alert. Artificial light tricks your brain into believing the sun is still up. Over time, your internal clock, the circadian rhythm, drifts out of sync with the world. When that happens, 3 a.m. becomes your body's false dawn. It's as if your system is preparing for morning, but the night isn't ready to let go. Yet, not every 3 a.m. awakening is about stress or light. Sometimes, it's something deeper, a whisper from your subconscious, a pattern hidden in your emotions and memories. Because while biology explains how you wake up, psychology reveals why. It's 3:22 a.m. You're awake again. The world outside is silent, but inside, something stirs. Not in your body, but in your mind. You're not thinking about anything specific, yet your chest feels heavy. Your thoughts drift toward old memories, worries, regrets, things you thought you'd moved past. But here they are again, knocking softly at the door of your consciousness. This isn't a coincidence. This is your subconscious mind, the part of you that never truly sleeps. Throughout the day, your conscious mind takes control. You stay busy, focused, distracted. You push thoughts away, the ones that hurt, confuse, or overwhelm you. But at night, when everything slows down, that mental wall begins to crumble. The noise of the world fades and what's left is you. Psychologists call this the rebound effect. When you suppress certain thoughts during the day, your brain doesn't erase them. It stores them. And during the quiet hours of the night, especially during REM and light sleep transitions, those stored thoughts resurface. The 3 a.m. awakening, in many cases, is your subconscious asking to be heard. Neuroscientists have found that during the early morning hours, the brain shifts its focus from external processing to internal repair. Emotional memories from the day are replayed and reorganized. If something unresolved lingers, an argument, grief, guilt, or fear, it tends to surface during this stage. It's the brain's way of saying, we need to deal with this. In a 2018 study from the University of Toronto, researchers observed that subjects who experienced recurring early morning awakenings often scored higher on emotional suppression scales, meaning they were more likely to avoid or downplay their feelings during the day. At night, their brains compensated by bringing those buried emotions to the surface. Your body might feel restless, but it's not just restlessness, it's communication. Maybe your mind is whispering, you're carrying too much. Maybe it's replaying a memory you haven't fully healed from. Or maybe it's simply trying to tell you, you need rest, but not just the kind that sleep gives. This is why some people report feeling more emotional, reflective, or even inspired when they wake up at 3 a.m. The subconscious, free from daily noise, becomes louder. It connects ideas that seemed unrelated, offers insight, or reveals truth, but in a language only silence understands. An interesting fact: researchers have noticed that during 3 to 4 a.m. awakenings, brain wave patterns often resemble those seen during light meditation. It's as if the mind enters a natural, unplanned moment of self-awareness, raw, unfiltered, and vulnerable. For centuries, spiritual traditions called this the hour of the soul. Science might call it neural introspection, but the feeling is the same, a moment where the mind looks inward, unguarded. So maybe waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just a problem to be fixed. Maybe it's a message, your inner self reminding you to slow down, to feel, to listen. Still, there's one more layer to this story. Because while the cause may lie within you, the solution lies in how you live. And the final part of this journey reveals how to restore balance, not just to your sleep but to your life itself. It's morning now. The sun rises slowly, painting the sky with soft gold and pale blue. The world begins to move again, cars on the streets, footsteps on the floor, coffee brewing somewhere in the distance. You've made it through another night. But this time you understand what really happened at 3 a.m. You weren't broken. You weren't cursed. You were simply human, caught between the rhythm of biology and the weight of emotion, between the pull of your body's chemistry and the whispers of your mind. For most people, the 3 a.m. awakening isn't a mystery to be feared, it's a message to be understood. Science tells us that to end the cycle, we must restore harmony between body, mind, and rhythm. It begins with small choices, simple acts that reteach your body when to rest and when to wake. Start with light. As the sun sets, let darkness return to your life. Dim your screens. Avoid the blue glow that tricks your brain into thinking it's still day. When your eyes sense real darkness, melatonin flows again, telling your body, it's safe to sleep. Next, respect the rhythm. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Even on weekends. Your body loves predictability. Every night you keep that promise, your internal clock recalibrates. A little more balance, a little more peace. Then release the noise before nightfall. Journal your worries. Write down tomorrow's to-do list. Speak to someone if your heart feels heavy. When you unload your thoughts before bed, the subconscious doesn't have to do it for you at 3 a.m. Feed your biology with care. Limit caffeine after noon. Avoid heavy meals before sleep. Create calm, a room that's cool, dark, and still. You're teaching your nervous system that the night is a time for safety, not alertness. And if you still wake up at 3 a.m., don't fight it. Lie still. Breathe deeply. Feel your heartbeat. Whisper to yourself, I'm safe. Because the truth is, the more you fear the night, the more power it gains. But when you meet it with calm acceptance, it slowly loses its grip. According to sleep psychologists, one of the most effective ways to return to rest is not to try to sleep, but to simply rest your body and let your mind wander gently. Within minutes, the cycle resets and sleep often returns on its own. As the narrator's voice softens, the message becomes clear. The 3 a.m. awakening is not a curse, it's communication. A sign that your body and mind are asking to be heard, understood, and healed. In a world that never stops moving, 3 a.m. is the 1 hour that belongs entirely to you. A quiet reminder that beneath all the noise, technology, and stress, you are still human, still connected to ancient rhythms written in your DNA long before alarm clocks and city lights existed. And maybe, just maybe, that's the beauty of it. The night wakes you not to disturb your peace, but to help you find it again.